President Donald Trump and his staff are not going to cave to the hysterics from the Democrats and their media minions who want to pressure them into being soft on illegal immigration, and they made that point known on Monday. The administration said that it has no plans to capitulate or stop enforcing the law, and Trump himself made a bold declaration. Mexican migrants. Photo credit, Victoria Razzo, AFP, Getty Images. President Trump came out strong at a press conference, discussing the ongoing situation created by prosecuting every adult who attempts to cross the border illegally, and he left no room for interpretation. The United States will not be a migrant camp, and it will not be a refugee holding facility, the president boldly declared. Not on my watch, he further vowed. Immigration is the fault, and all the problems that we're having because we cannot get them to sign legislation, we cannot get them even to the negotiating table, and I say it's very strongly the Democrats' fault, he said. What's happening is so sad. It's so sad, the president said, that the noise the media is making about separating children from their parents at the southern border is not being portrayed correctly. He said it is meant to be a deterrent to have migrants stop bringing their kids with them to commit their crime. Children are being used by some of the worst criminals on earth as a means to enter our country, the president said on Twitter. It is the Democrats' fault for being weak and ineffective with border security and crime. Tell them to start thinking about the people devastated by crime coming from illegal immigration. Change the laws. Children are being used by some of the worst criminals on earth as a means to enter our country. Has anyone been looking at the crime taking place south of the border? It is historic, with some countries the most dangerous places in the world. Not going to happen in the U.S. Donald J. Trump, at Real Donald Trump, June 18, 2018. Attorney General Jeff Sessions said what everyone should be aware of. No one wants to separate kids from their parents, but the laws have to be followed. We do not want to separate children from their parents. We do not want adults to bring children into this country unlawfully, placing them at risk, he said, NBC News reported. We cannot and will not encourage people to bring their children by giving them blanketed immunity from our laws. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen also defended the policy with common sense. Sadly, common sense does not work against those who make emotional arguments. We will not apologize for the job we do or for the job law enforcement does for doing the job that the American people expect us to do, Nielsen said as she spoke to the National Sheriff's Association on Monday. We are enforcing the laws passed by Congress, and we are doing all that we can in the executive branch to protect our communities. It is now time that Congress act to fix our broken immigration system, she said. Surely it is the beginning of the unraveling of democracy when the body who makes the laws, rather than changing them, asks the body who enforces the laws not to enforce the laws. That cannot be the answer. The comments echoed what she wrote on Twitter defending the policy. I will not stand by while our immigration system continues to deteriorate. We need real solutions which can only be accomplished through changing the law. I urge Congress to act, she wrote. I will not stand by while our immigration system continues to deteriorate. We need real solutions which can only be accomplished through changing the law. I urge Congress to act. Sec. Kirstjen Nielsen, at Sec. Nielsen, June 18, 2018. Surely it is the beginning of the unraveling of democracy when the body that makes the laws, rather than change them, asks the body charged with law enforcement to not enforce the law. That simply cannot be the answer. Congress must act, she said. Like previous administrations, we refer many individuals who cross the border illegally for prosecution. Crossing in that manner is against U.S. law. Surely it is the beginning of the unraveling of democracy when the body that makes the laws, rather than change them, asks the body charged with law enforcement to not enforce the law. That simply cannot be the answer. Congress must act. Sec. Kirstjen Nielsen, at Sec. Nielsen, June 18, 2018. Like previous administrations, we refer many individuals who cross the border illegally for prosecution. Crossing in that manner is against U.S. law. Sec. Kirstjen Nielsen, at Sec. Nielsen, June 18, 2018. We will not apologize for enforcing the laws passed by Congress. We are a nation of laws. We are asking Congress to change the laws. Sec. Kirsten Nielsen, at Sec Nielsen, June 18, 2018. We will not apologize for enforcing the laws passed by Congress. We are a nation of laws. We are asking Congress to change the laws, she said. Democrats believe that they can use the media to pressure President Trump and his administration to change direction on enforcing immigration law, but the president and his administration are not caving. If it is a fight the Democrats want, then they got one, and they got one with someone they cannot intimidate. Facebook has greatly reduced the distribution of our stories in our readers' newsfeeds, and is instead promoting mainstream media sources. When you share on social media, however, you greatly help distribute our content. Please take a moment and consider sharing this article with your friends and family. Thank you. Donald Trumpy Jeff Sessions.